Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, where we explore the most gripping and notorious tales from the world of crime. Today, we have a story that's as thrilling as it is chilling: the rise and fall of the infamous Kray Twins. Imagine the glitz and glamour of 1960s London, where celebrities rubbed shoulders with dangerous criminals. Ronnie and Reggie Kray were the kings of this shadowy underworld, ruling with charm and brutality. But how did these East End boys climb to such dizzying heights of power, and what led to their dramatic downfall? Stay tuned as we uncover the secrets of London's most notorious gangsters. You won't want to miss a single detail of this extraordinary tale. The early years, from East End boys to notorious gangsters. Ronnie and Reggie Kray were born on October 24, 1933, in Hoxton, East London, to Charles and Violet Kray. They were part of a large, working-class family, and from an early age, the twins exhibited a close bond that would define their lives. Growing up in the East End, the boys were surrounded by a culture of toughness and resilience, which would shape their futures. As children, the twins were inseparable, and their close-knit relationship was apparent to everyone who knew them. They shared everything, from clothes to secrets, and even their ambitions. Despite their identical looks, the twins had distinct personalities. Ronnie was the more dominant and volatile of the two, while Reggie was more charming and calculating. Together, they were a formidable team. The Krays' early years were marked by a combination of petty crime and a passion for boxing. The twins' grandfather, Jimmy Cannonball Lee, a former boxer, encouraged their interest in the sport. Boxing provided the Krays with an outlet for their aggression and a way to earn respect in their tough neighborhood. They soon became local champions, known for their fierce fighting skills and unbreakable bond in the ring. However, it wasn't long before the allure of the criminal world became too strong to resist. The Krays began to engage in more serious criminal activities, starting with protection rackets and escalating to armed robbery. Their rise to power was swift and ruthless, as they used their natural charisma and intimidation tactics to establish themselves as dominant figures in the East End underworld. Building the Kray Empire, the 1950s. By the mid-1950s, the Kray twins had firmly established themselves as major players in the London crime scene. They formed the Kray Firm, a gang that operated out of their nightclub, the Double R Club in Bethnal Green. The club quickly became a hotspot for celebrities, politicians, and other influential figures, providing the Krays with valuable connections and a veneer of legitimacy. The twins' influence extended beyond the East End, as they expanded their operations to include gambling, protection rackets, and extortion. They used a combination of charm and violence to maintain control over their empire, and their reputation for brutality ensured that few dared to cross them. Ronnie, in particular, was known for his explosive temper and ruthless tactics, while Reggie played the role of the more polished and approachable frontman. One of the key factors in the Krays' rise to power was their ability to navigate the complex social dynamics of London's criminal underworld. They formed alliances with other gangs and criminal organizations, consolidating their power and eliminating rivals. Their charm and charisma also allowed them to cultivate relationships with legitimate businessmen, politicians, and celebrities, further solidifying their influence. The Krays' notoriety grew, and they became household names, often appearing in newspapers and on television. Their ability to blend the glamour of celebrity with the ruthlessness of organized crime made them fascinating figures to the public. The media couldn't get enough of the twins, and they reveled in the attention, cultivating an image of sophisticated yet dangerous criminals. The swinging 60s, the Krays at their peak. The 1960s were a period of immense cultural change in Britain, and the Krays were at the center of it all. London was swinging, and the Kray twins were swinging right along with it. They hobnobbed with the likes of Frank Sinatra, Judy Garland, and Diana Dors, making their mark on the city's vibrant nightlife scene. The Krays' social circles expanded to include politicians, actors, and musicians, further blurring the lines between their criminal activities and their public personas. They were seen at the hottest clubs and parties, often rubbing shoulders with the elite. This blend of crime and celebrity only added to their allure, and the public couldn't get enough of the charismatic twins. Despite their glamorous lifestyle, the Krays never strayed far from their criminal roots. They continued to expand their empire, using their connections and influence to engage in more sophisticated and lucrative criminal enterprises. They invested in legitimate businesses, such as nightclubs and gambling dens, using them as fronts for their illegal activities. However, as their power grew, so did their enemies. The Krays' ruthlessness and ambition led to numerous conflicts with rival gangs and criminal organizations. These rivalries often resulted in violence, and the twins' reputation for brutality only intensified. Ronnie's mental instability also became more pronounced, adding an unpredictable element to their already volatile operations. One of the most infamous episodes in the Krays' criminal career occurred in 1966 when Ronnie murdered George Cornell, a member of the rival Richardson gang, in cold blood at the Blind Beggar pub. The murder was a brazen display of power, and it sent a clear message to anyone who dared to challenge the Krays. However, it also marked the beginning of their downfall, as the police and public began to take their criminal activities more seriously. The fall of the Kray Empire, the late 1960s. As the 1960s progressed, the Krays' grip on power began to weaken. Their increasingly violent and erratic behavior drew the attention of law enforcement, and the once untouchable twins found themselves under intense scrutiny. The Metropolitan Police, led by Detective Superintendent Leonard "Nipper" Reed, launched a concerted effort to bring the Krays to justice. The investigation into the Kray twins was a meticulous and painstaking process. The police faced significant challenges as the twins' influence and intimidation tactics made it difficult to gather evidence and secure witness testimony. However, Nipper Reed was determined to dismantle the Kray empire, and he methodically built a case against them. In 1968, the police finally had enough evidence to arrest the Kray twins and several members of their gang. The charges included murder, assault, and various other criminal activities. The trial, which took place in 1969, was one of the most sensational in British legal history, attracting widespread media attention and public interest. The evidence against the Krays was overwhelming, and despite their attempts to intimidate witnesses and manipulate the proceedings, they were found guilty on multiple charges. Ronnie and Reggie Kray were both sentenced to life imprisonment, with a recommendation that they serve a minimum of 30 years. Their incarceration marked the end of their reign over London's criminal underworld. Life behind bars and legacy. The Kray twins spent the rest of their lives in prison, with Ronnie being held at Broadmoor Hospital due to his deteriorating mental health. Reggie, on the other hand, was held in various high-security prisons. Despite their imprisonment, the twins continued to maintain a degree of influence and control over their criminal network, albeit to a much lesser extent. Ronnie Kray died in 1995, while Reggie Kray was released on compassionate grounds in 2000, shortly before his death from cancer. The twins' legacy, however, endures. Their story has been immortalized in numerous books, films, and documentaries, and they remain iconic figures in the history of British crime. The Kray twins' rise and fall is a testament to the complex interplay of charisma, violence, and ambition in the world of organized crime. Their ability to blend the allure of celebrity with the ruthlessness of criminality made them unique and unforgettable figures. While their criminal activities brought fear and suffering to many, their story continues to captivate and intrigue people to this day. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the tumultuous lives of Ronnie and Reggie Kray. Their story is a stark reminder of how power and violence can intertwine, creating legends that are remembered for generations. If you were captivated by the Kray twins' blend of charisma and cruelty, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with fellow true crime enthusiasts. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of historical crimes and infamous figures. Leave a comment below on which crime stories you'd like us to explore next. Until then, stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.